Did I ever tell you the story of his ankle was all fucked up? Nick was talking about how he's doing some healing protocol to kind of like help take care of his ankle. And he's like, you know, it's feeling really good lately. And I was like,
this was the first time I fucked it.
And I called him out and I was like, does that mean you're going to take it easy because it's feeling good and just slowly progress it back in?
No,
he's like, yeah, no, I know I sometimes don't do that, but like, I'm totally going to do that today. Dude, I'm in the middle of my back days. I'm all the way doing plate loaded rows. And I hear some yelling and I see Devo on the leg press. 2 minutes later, I hear even fucking louder yelling. I just hear across the gym, and I see Devo just spotting him going,
Devo's fucking screaming.
and I walk over just laughing. Nick gets out of the machine just shaking, bloodshot purple.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you taking it easy today?
He goes, I fucked it. I fucked it.
Dude.
Why do you hate it?
I don't know, dude. Okay, so it's like
The only time I hate it is when you guys are talking and it's going.
Right. Okay, so that makes sense because when we usually with every podcast before we start recording, we do the mic test, but there's always some type of background conversation going on when we do it. We all like, oh, hear that it's happening, go into the mic, say it, their mic test, go right back to the conversation.
Yep.
And then you start playing it. For me, that conversation still's like happening, and I just hear it in the background. I'm like, oh my god, I got to get ready. I got to lock in. It just gives me that good anxiety. Like, all right,
like,
here we go.
It's like the timer.
I do get anxiety.
That's what I'm saying.
2,
Yeah.
1.
Oh, we need Luke to get a fucking
Oh my god,
a clapper with like the episode number that we change every time. That'd be sick.
That would be
all right,
good,
Luke.
yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
That's our next task.
Write that down.
Yeah, we're gonna in front of the camera. We'll just
actually-
fucking clap it, and that's how we'll start.
The title can be on that. We can
Yeah.
have like our own little like.
Yeah, we have to
drawings
come
on
up with a title pre-smoke.
that. Yeah.
What are we gonna lean into?
Yeah.
It'd be even funnier if we never mention anything in the title too.
Nope.
Yeah. Just straight
Nope.
silence.
Because upstairs we'll be like, remember that, and then we come down here and we'll be like,
Yep.
so what do you want to talk about?
Yep.
And
It's so much easier though when like is it? Do you think the fact that we're not recording or it's the act of smoking? Because I find
No.
the act of smoking to be really.
We're not
think
recording.
I think it's that
That's
we
what it
like.
is?
We also like bro vomit. Like
Yep.
we just go vomit
Yep.
everything that's been happening,
Yep.
and then we get down here.
It's
and
like
we're
a pre.
That's
It's like
what
a
I'm saying.
pregame for like an actual conversation.
And
then-
it literally warms us up for the pod.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
us
it's kind
just
of like a
bringing
warm
other
up. We're like
weekly topics
we're in
up there.
pre warm ups right now. We're just doing
There's-
some practice throws.
There's low key sometimes where we come
Catches.
down here and we throw like Aaron Rodgers type games, and then sometimes we come down here and we burnt out. Like we spent
Yeah.
too much time up there. Like
Yeah.
there's been times where Aaron comes in the kitchen. She's like, "Go do the podcast."
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck, it's been 2.5
Yeah, bro.
hours.
We get on some
And then
crazy good topics.
Yeah, and then we get down here and we're like,
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
The weather's nice.
Yeah. How was your week?
Yeah.
But no, it's like I think
I feel pretty ramped up today.
to his question,
feel good.
it's the fact that we
Feel
do like
great.
that bro vomit
Yeah.
so easily, knowing we're not recording, knowing like it's like, yo, I just want to have a genuine conversation.
Right.
I haven't seen the boys in 2-3 days. Maybe I fucking saw them yesterday and something happened. I just want to talk, or saw something. I enjoy that part,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I feel like we get so much more accomplished.
I
on our
like
weekends,
and
too.
it's hard
I
at
like
the
the
gym.
informal banter prior to the podcast.
Right.
Yes.
And it's hard at the gym because we see each other, but it's like you don't want to hold each other up with like 25-minute stories, which we do sometimes. But
I 100% have done
sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want to go talk to them right now, but I need
all
to
the
hit
time.
my lift.
All the time.
Yeah.
But I want to say hi to my friend.
I haven't.
We don't see you anymore.
We never see you at the gym.
I know. I've had great lifts at the gym.
It's hard when
at
you
work, though,
lift at a
honestly.
gym
I try
or
to
work
make
at a
it the
gym.
best, but I do miss like seeing everyone. It sucks, honestly.
Yeah.
I get it.
I sent the text earlier this week. I was like, dude, I missed the like pre-smoke, the pre-smoke tradition.
There's
That
no
is,
more ghost.
Oh, dude, I miss being back there.
There's
It's
no
such a
more
vibe.
ghost of social candy shuffling around.
He's gone for now. I'll be back. I'll probably be back like within a couple months.
Think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
They've done a ton of upgrades, dude.
I kind of want to
really
just
hustling.
fix my schedule so where I can train around you guys.
Dumbbells
around
up
you
that.
guys' time. So
I like
it's like
that.
what, like that 5 to 7-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. 'cause
The
I'm
only hard part about that as a personal trainer is that's a really hot time.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
3 to 7 at Lifetime, dude. That's why when I worked at Lifetime and I wasn't like contracted,
Yep.
Yeah.
like I
The
always
split shift is
Yeah,
kind of like
because
inevitable. You got people
I-
that are getting off work in the morning and then
Yeah.
that night shift, so it's like you kind of just gotta suck it up. you
That
know?
totally
Yeah.
makes sense.
The 8 to noon was popping, and then actually it was 8 to 11, and then it would die, and then the 3 to 7 was when it was like peak.
That's when you can make a good amount of money, right? That hour.
Yeah, but I mean those are the easy hours to fill.
The 4-hour gap is helpful though, because I can literally just get off my
eat,
client.
work out.
I have we have a fridge, a microwave, like all that shit in the break room.
I
So
low
just
key
eat, go
love
train.
lifting during the day though. If I had
It's
the
been
option
really
to,
nice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, my sleep has gotten a lot better.
Way
like
better,
when
I
you get
bet.
home after work at 6,
You're
you're just done.
Yeah.
And you can have the whole evening. Oh, I miss it
Game
so
changing.
much.
I'm gonna start going in on Saturdays at noon.
Yeah.
Me
It's a
and
little
Riley,
busy then.
we trained legs.
Is it busy around noon?
yesterday?
on Saturday.
11. That
Oh, on
11
Saturday,
time.
I've done it. Like if I have to train early because I'm going somewhere or traveling, I'll come in around 10, 11. I like the morning squad, bro. The morning squad.
It's energetic.
There's different types of trainers and people that train.
Yeah.
Just into it. Like different types. You can tell the different vibe around being at our gym around that 4 to 7 range of like who's the ones getting off work. The ones that just train earlier on, they're kind of like everybody knows, walk in, get to right to fucking work.
Yeah.
You guys got
So
some new
Saturdays,
machines.
Less
yeah,
talking,
Saturdays, dude. Saturdays, I'm like, dude, we did legs yesterday, and there's like 5 people there, and I miss when I'm training there specifically. I want there to be hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like hustle and bustle.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm gonna go in earlier, feel better. Saturdays, my days free up even more. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I think
there's a
it's
lot
nice.
of combos in the evening squad.
Yeah.
Music gets turned down a lot.
I might just get
Because
a
everybody,
pass for
again,
Saturdays.
everybody wants to bro vomit with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Get off work and then you want to go
I
chat.
do want to
Makes
go there
sense.
on Saturdays.
It's nice to knock it out early too on a Saturday.
Yeah.
If you get there at like 10:30, 11,
Yeah.
you can go out back, burn one, get
Yeah.
a workout in. By the time you're done, you could still grab a cold brew if you wanted.
I
Still have the whole
enjoy.
day left.
What
Yeah.
what do you guys enjoy most? Do you enjoy Saturday, or do you enjoy the workouts where it's like on a Saturday?
I love
where
Saturdays.
you are burning one
Yeah.
on a Saturday, rest day early on, then training 10 to 12 range, or do you prefer the all right, work is done, it's like 5 o'clock, I'm gonna burn one, then train?
I don't
Like
mind.
what's your
It's
pre-smoke
mixed.
vibe
It's
that you
mixed for me.
prefer,
Is it
kinda
so?
mixed.
or pre-training session smoke?
Saturday, because Friday,
Yeah.
sometimes I smoke and then
Yeah.
I feel burnt out.
Me too.
And I'm
The
like, I don't wanna
sunset is
lift.
nice,
Yeah.
but also like smoking like during the day is nice too.
Yeah.
It's so hard to pick.
Saturday, I'm
I
using
love
it as a
both of them
tool.
equally.
Yes, because sometimes it's during the weekdays if I'm training around that 5-6 o'clock time, I get that vibe if I smoke before the gym where it's like it's
little more
teetering on the
tired.
edge of the evening where it's like, man, your body does want to smoke and just chill,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you
That's
got to
what
go
I'm saying.
fucking move some heavy weight.
It's Friday. You just
I
did
guess
5
it's kind of
days
like,
straight.
do you want
Yeah.
to fight your body a little bit more at one time than the other?
Yeah, man, I had to get fucking focused for arms the other day
And you were
Yeah.
training at what, like
Really?
6, 7? That was before
when I was
we went
training
to the
arms.
movie.
No, whatever day you and I were training on Friday when you were
Wasn't
training
that-
chest.
Yeah, that was the movie.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I-
How to train your
I ended up
dragon.
just doing shoulders too.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like,
I
I looked
saw
at the
that.
chest equipment
I
and I
saw
was
that.
like,
dude.
just
You have an
slammed
arm
his
day?
tongue.
Yeah, I've always had an arm day.
Really?
I think, bro, I'm telling you, man, I love
kidding me?
the act of like how I look training arms or like after training
Did
arms.
you?
I love the feeling of training arms, bis and tris and delts. But like sometimes if it's on the if I have to train arms in the evening,
Hate it.
I have to
Very
really
I get that. I get
internally
that.
like, bro, I'm about to train arm. If I'm about to hit chest
always
or
throw
legs
in-
or back, I'm like, all right, it's fucking sink or swim. I got some big weights I got to move. If
Yep.
I train legs like a pussy,
Adrenaline's high.
I feel more like a pussy if I'm training legs.
Yeah.
Knowing I don't have enough energy for it, knowing I'm not motivated, everybody, most of the time, will just down-regulate their intensity.
Trickle down,
Not
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
lie, I always throw in a big movement pre-arm day.
Like what?
Like, oh,
Like
on
I'll
the
be
arm
like,
day.
I'm gonna do like a row or like
wow.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Or I'll pair a shoulder, like shoulder press,
And that
lateral
gets you
raise,
going.
and then I'm like,
I like
okay,
doing
now I'm
shoulders
locked in for
before.
arms.
I'm gonna start doing that.
I can't go in there and be like curls.
Dude, see, that's what I'm talking about. I literally
hate it.
sometimes don't like the thought of knowing I'm at the gym. I know I'm gonna look sick as fuck in 20 minutes. Like, knowing that's like, all right, I got a single arm preacher curl for first fucking movement. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Something big, a single arm pull down.
The other day I did
I thought about-
just a straight bar lat pull down and
I saw that.
You did 3 sets of it and then I was like, now I can curl. Like now I feel good.
Dude,
My back's
that's a
pumped
cheat
up.
code.
Yeah.
I'm fucking stoked.
Locks me in for it.
I'm fucking stoked.
You got to do one exciting movement
God.
and then you're like, all right, now we'll go to work.
I got a
I'm passionate as fuck about
quick
this.
suggestion.
I gotta fix this arm day shit.
To be
That's
fair,
really
it's
what it
'cause
is, though?
lifting is for us.
What?
Like it's
Yeah,
our,
yeah.
it's our therapy. Like and it's our like moment just to
Yeah.
it's like what we love to do. And when you have a day that you're not excited about,
Yeah.
toss something in that excites you a little bit,
Yeah.
just to get you locked in.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it, and then get to
Yeah.
the stuff that you consider like more
100%.
boring.
Is
I
it
get it.
arm day for all of you guys?
I hate
your
arm day.
My arm days are long.
Yeah, it's a single arm.
I'll have two
single arm days.
supersets of
I hate
biceps at the
single arm.
start. I start with the curling part.
Hey,
which
you're doing so much
is
single
kind of
arm.
hard, but
Yeah.
like it is what it is.
Hate
Two
it.
supersets for biceps, two supersets for triceps.
Nice.
One heavy compound for biceps, like
Nice.
a barbell, or not barbell, dumbbell hammer curls.
Sure.
Like a close grip Smith machine.
Nice.
And then it'll go to shoulders. So like I'll have like 3.
Oh, so you start with arms and then go shoulders?
I
do
have
that.
3 shoulder movements, and they're all lateral raises. Like one's just like a dumbbell, and then the other one's a single arm cable, and then the other one I think is like, what was the other one? The machine lateral raise.
Oh,
one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I hammer my shoulders like towards the end of my
3
arm
lateral
raise.
raises?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and then
You've always done that.
Then 2 rear delt movements
Works.
after that.
Your
always done
shoulders
that.
look absolutely, dude. I am a big to. I love if a client needs like delts throwing like.
Yeah.
I
2
mean,
to
I feel
3
like that's a body part where you
You
can't
can
have
hammer it.
enough of it. You
I
know
totally
what I
agree.
mean? Like,
Well,
the more
it's hard to fatigue it the way you can fatigue another muscle
Yes.
group too.
Yes.
right.
Like it's just such a different movement, and you fatigue so much faster.
If you think
Yeah,
about it,
so-
your delts and your calves are constantly being used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, your shoulders can handle a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have healthy
Joints.
actual joint articulation.
You know
what
what I
I'm saying?
did this week that I haven't like ever actually. I think I've only done it with you, maybe one other time, or you with your cuffs. I haven't done the seated incline cuff crossbody shoulder lateral
Oh,
raise.
I did the
That's
other
what
day.
I'm
saying.
I had
4 rounds
3 people
of that.
comment
You
on
do
it.
those
Holy-
inclined or standing?
Dog, the
Incline.
amount of people that I see
Oh my
doing
God.
those,
Yeah.
it's
Doing them on the
I
floor
either
is
know
nice,
they've
too.
seen us doing them, or I know that they're my client. When
That
I
was-
see that they're doing the Y raises,
That was one of my most popular things. I posted that a couple times at Top Line, and I got so many people swiping up. Like,
Yeah.
you actually like that? I'm like, Laura Lee, baby.
Yeah.
Laura
Yes.
Lee
100%,
was
bro.
she does those all the time. I saw it back in like 2019, and I, was
just
like,
noticed it.
no, I was just like, that's
Fuck
an
with it.
interesting looking movement because I
No, it
love
is.
like when you can isolate with a cable. Like
Yeah.
that's the best.
Yeah.
Tried them out.
I started
and now
deploying
I've
those
always
when
done
Gloff brought them in for me. I was like, wow, these are really improving my posterior.
Yeah.
And then I started putting them in for clients, and it's like,
Puts all that pressure on your delts.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Well, it's a
working
lot
on your
easier
front
to.
delts.
I feel like just being able. This may sound weird, but being able to like lay back on the incline, like you're looking upright, so you're directly watching your arm path, like as you're pulling up. So I feel like it's a really awesome movement
Yeah.
to just have an easy visual cue. Like if you just look straight forward, that should be in your peripheral of like the Y raise instead of like if you're
Yep.
cranking it
Yep.
out too far laterally. You know what
I
I,
agree.
mean? It's
Well-
nice that you can sit there and just see your hands.
What
like,
is-
moving in
Well,
direction.
anytime you can release your grip too, like you
Yeah.
you can eliminate trap engagement, and then like being locked in on
Yeah.
a bench, it's just going to give you a
You
more
have
stable
you can put
platform.
your scapulars
yeah.
back so they absolutely can't.
all right, that's
Yeah,
my
there's
next
gonna
question.
Be no humping it up or
Nothing
anything
at all,
Like that.
yeah.
So for like
sure.
for speaking in the context of seated cable lateral raises with the cuffs / Y raises, I don't
Yeah.
want to just like break down to the audience the difference of what those can be or how you can execute them. Just that
angles.
general
Yeah.
movement pattern. Do you guys prefer a bench that you're laying on that's flat or inclined?
incline.
I
Incline
agree.
for sure. I
I
think
agree.
just
I
the
hate flat.
way you
The angle
pull it,
feels natural.
I agree.
yeah, because
It
if
just-
I'm laying straight like flat like this, I feel like it's taking me a lot longer
Yeah.
to get to what I want to hit.
And also,
Versus
when you're
like a little bit of an
completely
incline.
flat, and if you're doing laterals or you're coming up at a different angle anteriorly to do a Y raise, when you're completely flat, sometimes I feel like it's almost as if I feel my traps activate or my mid back activate
Yeah.
a little more,
Much
as
more.
if I'm doing a similar to as
Well,
if I caught myself doing
it's-
a heavy lateral raise.
It's
You know
because
what
you
I'm saying?
can't follow your elbow path
Yeah.
as well
Yes.
on a flat plane because it's going to cause you to, bring in that trap and go more
Right.
outside. Yeah. So like
just feel
on
like,
that
yeah.
angle, yeah, you can follow the elbow line.
Well, the bench too. If you're standing and you don't have that support, think about how easy it is to like actually like just lean back when you're originally like
Yeah.
pulling from the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you have that bench, you're not gonna be inclined to have that initial fucking jerk it motion
Good
to
point.
get it off the ground.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you're already laid flat back. All you can literally do is move your arms in that straight angle.
You're very constricted.
I will.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's an awesome movement. I haven't done those in forever, but
Yeah.
I have those and dumbbell lateral raises on the same day, and that's a fucking doozy.
Cuffed hammer.
Yes.
Start doing cuffed hammers.
Yep.
Hammer curls?
Cuffed hammer
Yeah.
curls. Take your hand out of it. It's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Crazy. I don't
Yeah.
grab the rope
actually?
anymore.
What do you
So
do?
I put my
Watch.
my like forearm on a bench on an incline, and I let that cuff pull my arm all the way, And since you're not gripping it, you're not losing any of that tension, or you're taking all that tension off your forearms where usually you're burning out, and you just curl it from there with the cuff.
What's a cuff? Like, what are you talking about?
Like the ankle cuffs, the wrist cuffs.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And
I'll send you a picture.
I am getting like this portion of my arm has.
So the strap is
never
sitting
been
around your
more
wrist?
sore.
Like
yeah.
that?
Just
Okay.
sitting around your wrist.
Yep.
And you're just drag curling it,
Really?
keeping that elbow as high as possible, like in line with the cable, and just letting it. I almost like let it pull me in a little bit
to get that
the
extra
whole movement is just
what I'll
contracting that up.
Sometimes is I will.
You can
the
do
cuffed
both versions.
And I'd walk forward a little bit from the cable cam that's a little bit lower, and I'll have my upper arm behind my torso some more.
Yeah.
So I'll be leaning forward, and my arm's behind me. Cable's running this way.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
If I bring my arm like this, like I can't the front delt.
So it's like a
yeah,
reverse
you can get the
drag?
front delt into that, but it's easier to feel what you're trying to feel
Yeah.
with a hammer.
It's been amazing.
variation,
You'll notice
yeah.
if you're throwing that in
But
there.
the
Yeah.
stretch is fucking nuts.
Awesome.
So you can do it where you're leaning. Are you talking? Is that the way you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I've seen people do it where they have a bench in front of them, or it's the machine. They're bracing it, but they're bending over, hinging at their hips, and doing it in front of them like this.
No.
Oh,
And I've seen
I
people
keep
do it
my
that way,
elbow-
but it's kind of counterproductive.
Are you losing that stretch from that angle?
Yeah.
I'm doing a
100%.
drag curl essentially.
Exactly.
'Cause
Right.
I
Is that
keep
less
it-
forearm then?
Perfect.
If you're not
Yeah, you're
using your
completely
hand?
eliminating the forearm
Yeah.
aspect. So your hands never give out. So I'm finding I can do a lot more weight for a lot longer time.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that because I do hammers all the time, and I'll get sore.
hammers.
But
But your
I'm getting
forearms
like
give.
2-3 day soreness in
Yeah.
my bicep after doing these. It's to the point where like when I get home to do my shampoo, I'm just like fucking cramping the whole time.
Yeah.
Those are great for building forearms.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I would always, okay, so
And that
I'm training
side
by
chest,
myself.
so you get that big
if I'm
fucking-
hitting, when I hit hammer style curls at the end of my arm days,
Yeah.
I will 100% do the cuffed cable hammer curl, okay, over standing dumbbell hammer curls.
Yeah.
But if I'm training with somebody else, I will definitely do dumbbells, because it takes so long, each person going into it single
Yeah.
arm,
Oh, yeah.
setting it up,
Not doing that with.
But if I'm by myself, any day over standing
What's another
dumbbell
great
hammers.
one?
For
Kate-
what? What do we?
One of my
I
just
like
arm
doing-
workouts.
I like
that
doing
I get.
what we used to do as a top line. Remember we would do the preacher curls on the like longer way of the preacher bar.
Oh,
Or the
it's
preacher
vertical.
pad? Yeah,
Yes,
straight
yes.
down.
Straight down.
The straight down one is. We got rid of
Always
that,
better.
and I
I
was
know.
so sad.
Yeah. I know.
Because
Yeah.
the straight down angle is so much better
Yeah.
than the angled.
Yeah,
I always tell anybody that I see using a preacher curl, I'm like, try it the other way.
the
And
other
they're
way.
like,
I
Yeah.
always
way
use it
better.
the
Way
opposite
better.
way.
Which
I
one
just-
are you guys talking about?
So
you know the regular preacher bar, like
you know
the
how-
regular preacher.
It's like straight
thing?
here, yep, and then
Did you
it's
say preacher?
Yeah, sorry, I'm having a
thought
hard time talking.
I got it, buddy. It's straight down here, and then the preacher actually goes
Yes,
here,
yes.
but you lean over this side
Correct.
instead.
Oh, you're talking
That's-
the angle change
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
the one we
yes,
have
yes.
now at Social doesn't have the flat
Yep.
side, so you have to just do
Yep.
it the way
That
And I'll tell
Panada
you-
one kind of does.
The Panada
Yeah,
one is
yeah.
very
Plate-loaded
good
Panada
at emulating a vertical.
It's the closest you're going to
Yeah.
get
That's the
to
closest
that.
thing.
It's
yeah.
got the
I know.
pad,
I
But if
get
you're
that.
doing
I'm saying
dumbbell,
for dumbbell,
yeah. I will say
Dumbbells.
this:
Fuck.
something that Zach and I did for a long time for just like general arm and delt training was we would obviously still hit rear delts on our arm and delt day.
yeah.
But we would hit the volume a little bit less because we'd spread the volume of rear delts out before chest and back days. Zach and I would do like some sort of seated horizontal face pulls or something with rear delts. Hammer our fucking rear delts before we even got into our rows, before we got into our presses, all that shit. That fucking was that built our rear delts up really good.
You're
You know what I'm saying?
adults.
You're a reader. Mine's-
No, but I'm saying like
No, it's
you
the
and I
big
Still suck. I'm just kidding.
no, you and I would do that for the longest time.
If we would do that we did that at Metroflex a lot.
Pre-exhaust,
Metro, Animal House, etc. And this is one of those things because rear delts are kind of like I kind of look at them as like calves for some people. It's a small muscle group. They won't want to train it if I place that at the end
end.
of a
I never
an
do.
upper day or a chest day, whatever. You know,
Get it out the
even
way,
if they're
for
just
sure.
hitting chest and we're frying their chest, if I have like 3 sets of rear delts, sometimes you don't want to hit them.
Right.
You know, you just like did a great chest workout. That's fried, or you hit them lackluster.
Right.
Putting me at the beginning, kind of like the opposite of what you do on arm days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like putting something like that at the beginning, get it
You're
pumped.
also
I do
too
that.
putting yourself at a really big disadvantage because like your front delts are gonna overtake your shoulders so much, and then it's gonna take a minute to get those rear delts back up to
right.
speed.
Good point.
I do lat pullovers and rear delts at the beginning now. That's been a way to warm everything
Yeah.
up before getting into like chest.
Why do you think on a lot of the some of your upper days, you are starting with a back movement.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then I also now do rear delts because I'm like, I'm going to knock it out now when I'm fresh, burn them the fuck out.
I've been doing those.
We did it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I've been putting the rope, the tricep rope on the lat pull down and just pulling it to my face and doing some face pulls there.
Yeah.
I can't talk today.
You keep flipping the first letter of the second. You keep doing that. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy that your brain's doing that.
I do that on COD. When we're fucking mic'd up,
right
dude,
now.
I do that on COD all the time.
Yeah.
You've done it a couple times. I'm like, that's a quick change too. To like flip those letters.
What did we just smoke?
That shit was strong.
That was Mac Payton.
Nice.
That's a good one. I like Max Payton.
Beat my ass right now.
I'm in an amped mood.
I'm great. State.
Okay, well, let's talk about some stuff.
Dude, let's fucking intro.
Yeah,
let's
welcome
go.
back to the D2 podcast.
Oh my God, we forgot to do
yeah,
that.
around the
We
table.
were giving them free information is what we
were
We talked training. Yeah, around the table we got Zach Blotchek, Nick Justice, Lance Hefner, myself, Zach Devo, and Luke behind the camera. Full squad. Welcome back. How was everybody's week? Zach, start with you.
It was pretty good. Training legs the other day was pretty painful. I only did like 4 movements.
You wanna walk us
just
through it?
huh?
Want to walk us through?
Oh
it?
yeah. Like I said, I only did 4 movements. I'm not really a huge fan of the lying hamstring that we have because it kind of hurts
hamstring?
Is this all at crunch, by the way, that you're training at?
Yeah, yeah. But the line one just kind of
Good
fucks
question.
with my back knee. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do seated and then replace it with like an RDL or something. 3 sets of like all of like the smaller parts, like the leg extension, hamstring curl.
Yep.
Those are like 3 sets around 10 to 15. And then I ended with barbell squats first, and then went right to dumbbell RDLs, or not dumbbell, barbell RDLs.
Nice.
What are you doing for the
crazy.
barbell squats?
Just because I'm right there, and all the other machines.
My
I'm
back
like,
would have exploded.
I love that you're doing it.
I didn't
though.
use a belt either. Well, I'm trying to
you've been
like,
so good.
I'm trying to take advantage of like, doing these compounds right now. Just because I do want to build more foundational, like, tissue.
It's a great movement.
I mean,
yeah.
Dude, a lot of foundational tissue with that strength of those compounds.
Yeah.
you're gonna
Your
build
lower
some-
back is gonna.
That's
get huge.
exactly.
Yeah.
I really want to get like thick everywhere, and I just want to kind of go back to that compound
old school style.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to do it, bro.
I did barbell squats first. I'm only doing like 2 sets of those for like 6 to 8.
Nice.
So heavier.
Yeah.
I think I threw. Dude, those plates are low key heavy. They have
The crunch ones?
Yeah, we have the big blue ones. Those
yeah.
ones are low key.
They feel
pack.
heavy.
They pack. I picked
The one
one up,
in
I'm like,
Appleton.
fuck.
Yeah. Dude,
That's
it's
sick.
humbling.
So I threw on I think 3 of those, and then the green one, the 25.
Fuck yeah, dude.
For like 6.
What do you hit, 365?
I think I hit 7. That's I think 365.
365.
No belt?
No belt.
Be like Zach.
belt.
I would have thrown it.
Yeah,
your
fuck
squats,
yeah, Zach.
I really wanted to take a video, but I just really wasn't
Why
feeling
didn't
that
you?
video. I didn't have a tripod.
I'm
gonna
I might
start
go
keeping
back
my
to
Put one in your
tripod
gym
there.
bag, dude. That gets me hyped.
looking at you.
I'm gonna probably keep that in the break room, honestly, so I always have it there.
We're gonna steal that.
Humbling, though.
But yeah, no belt. And then I went right to RDLs, and I think I didn't go as heavy on those just because my lower back was really fucking pumped.
gas.
Yeah, but then you're gonna just load up those hamstrings with some good weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Rep
I
it
think I
out.
only did like 2 plates and then the green on that one, and I had them just really controlled. I have to do a little higher reps for those, so I think I did like around that 8 to 12 mark there.
Nice.
But still super slow and controlled, dude.
High rep RDLs suck, bro.
Yeah.
8 to 12 is
Exhausting.
a bitch.
Yeah,
It's exhausting.
Plate elevated too, so I was standing on like a small little
Yeah.
plate. For
Oh, the
those.
deficit.
Yep.
Yep.
I just like doing those a lot more.
Me too.
But yeah, no, it was a
That's
good leg
old
day.
school, baby.
Yeah,
That's
old
all you
school.
need, dude.
Yeah.
Because those are 2
I'm just
fucking
I'm just
taxi
in my
movements.
I'm in the break room just like getting my pre-workout and shit together, and I'm watching like the Kevin Lerone and the old school Machiavelli.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm just trying to get back to where I was like years ago when I really got into it, and all those videos would get me so locked
Have fun
in.
with
Dude,
I
that's
was just
fucking
gonna say, it's
awesome.
just what he said before. Sometimes you got to bring back some fun fucking movements just
Yeah.
to challenge
Like, I'm going
yourself.
Sometimes
through
it does get
the-
stale. It
Yeah,
does. Like
I
when
agree.
You're
When you're doing
working
machines all fucking
single
time,
arm,
yeah.
bilateral shit all the time, unilateral, like you're
When
just
you-
fucking.
Sometimes there needs to be a balance at a gym of free weights and machines.
Yes.
I'm glad he put all those racks in now at the end
I
of the
love
back
that.
section.
Those look super
and I'm
nice.
glad he got
They're getting
heavier
tempting.
dumbbells because I literally, bro, it hasn't been until this year where, and you're probably noticing this too, it hasn't been until this year where you start to realize machine volume around you sometimes conforms you to a box of training.
Right.
And and you're missing how you
Key
trained
pieces.
before you ever were introduced to the best of the best machines.
I
The
was
social
getting
has.
caught
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
habit of like walking around the gym, and I'm just like, damn, like
Fuck,
what
me too.
machines can I use? But like
Yep.
they're not as many as social. So I'm like, all right, we're going back to the basics.
Back to the basics.
Something that like I've even really found this year is we've been talking about it a ton is like finding that like this has been the big year for me coaching wise where I'm like, you know what, there does need to really be a beautiful blend between, you know, the science approach and just fucking hard work. And those movements that you're talking about, dude, like it's exciting to throw those back in, to challenge yourself, to see how strong you are. And I feel like there's a commonality with like certain athletes online where if they can make compound movements look like machinery movements, where it's so perfect like looking, they're always super dense, grainy, muscular humans.
They're very balanced too, because you start to see glute development is up to par with lower body development, side poses, etc.
Like, have you ever seen a perfect 405 barbell RDL with like
Crazy.
a dead stop and like they have a shitty posterior?
Last night I did that same thing, but I have a great posterior.
I would tell Nick all the time, and this is when we were at Top Planet Gals, I would always show him videos of like Justin Shire training.
The man. A dead stop RDL.
He's low-key a huge inspiration.
We got to get him on.
I know.
He will.
Know.
Yeah.
He was a huge inspiration, though, because like I would see his videos, and he's just doing these compound movements with just like perfect execution.
He's always been one with the deadlifts, bro.
And it
he
shows
does them religiously.
It shows.
It does show.
So is he.
You can see
Ian was always deadlifting.
The muscle he has is just, all right, that's from compounds for sure.
Right. Justin kind of gets shit a lot for training very uniform. And with his end ranges, like I love the way his training looks, because I remember Fuad would just like tease him sometimes about like, yeah, you train perfect, like nothing is off the books, etc. But people forget to realize Justin, from the first time he ever started bodybuilding, has trained like that, but he's always kept heavy deadlifts in.
Yeah,
and like that's something he has always done every workout for as long as I've known him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like I hate that that training argument type bullshit where it's like I'm just sick of hearing people argue about training, bro. I'm really sick of it. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't pay attention to it anymore.
I'm
become
so annoyed.
It's become like the trend to like blow up on Instagram. Like coaching has become like just making reels of other dudes making stances about shit, and it's like, just try it.
Honestly, if you really look at it in retrospect, everything works if you do it properly.
I totally agree.
Dude. If you can eat enough and you can sleep enough,
everything works.
And you can feel the contraction.
You're gonna
I preached this from the very first time I started like telling people how to train before I was ever like a title. I gave myself the title of a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. When I would just like give feedback to people, or just like I was that gym bro where people would come up to me, hey, yo, can you help me like make a meal plan, whatever. So this is back like
college,
high school, freshman year of college days. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was like a specimen, like when I was really unhealthy shredded. Yeah. You know, like that's who I was starting to become. I would always say, stop listening to the bullshit. Do what is safe for you. You're progressing, and that you enjoy, and you can adhere to for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Do that with your fucking training. Do that with your diet. And you will enjoy what you're doing. You will see progress. If you're not making progress in the gym and you say, "Oh, I need a break. I need to switch something up," then you're not training correctly, bro.
Right.
I will die on that fucking hill. It's like, hey Nick, I've been getting sick of my training lately. Just somebody that's asked that, like, how do I confuse the muscle type thing? Or it's like, dude, it doesn't work like that. If you just continually make progression something that you automatically do, you become so fixated on your training, you're enjoying it, you're seeing the progression.
Yeah, you're
not going to feel the need to have that burnout. You know what I'm saying? But like the burnout and switching, go different split. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was going to say too, you're going to get disencouraged if you're not sticking, because like something that I struggle with is I always like, for so long, for like probably the past 2 years, like I'll have a plan, but then I'll change it like 3-4 weeks in, or I'll change movements in there, and then I'll get frustrated with myself and be like, well, why am I not progressing?
I understand.
It's just like, well, you're not progressing, dude. It's because you're not doing the same movement consistently, and you're not tracking it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've done that.
Yeah. But like it's just like you forget like the importance of the fact that like if you like you're not going to burn out, or I don't think you should burn out per se. I mean, some people mentally maybe do, but it's just like you're going to burn out if you're changing shit too often, because you're not going to really be able to like dive into that movement and be like, okay, well, maybe I don't like necessarily feel this perfectly right now, but maybe I got to adjust a few things on my end in the movement to make it look perfect. Like record your top sets, like track your numbers, like the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So you're probably going to get a better contraction or feel for it over time.
I would change the verbiage of like trying to make it look perfect.
Yeah.
Because I think that paralyzes people sometimes.
That's true.
Try to, do everything that you just said, record it. Try to see improvements with your execution weekly, bi-weekly, whatever.
Right.
And look for the biofeedback of it. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people, dude,
I
they'll
just
see
help-
us do training online.
Yeah.
And they'll really, really want to emulate our form.
I just
but they'll
help-
try too hard to make it look perfect. We're not
Yeah.
trying to make it look perfect. Try to make it look like it's improving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just helped Doug with that. I mean,
I
like,
saw that.
great.
yeah, like
His
Totally
form's
about
getting a lot better on a lot of
he,
shit.
Yeah,
he,
man.
He was hitting great sets, but I was standing behind him spotting, and I watched his knees cave every set. But
Yeah.
from the angle in which his camera was facing, you didn't see it.
Yep.
Like in the video, you barely see
Yeah.
it, but from standing above, looking down at his legs,
Collapsing.
they were collapsing
Yeah.
hard.
Yep.
And I was like,
You could tell too. He's very quad dominant because he has that
"Yep."
like,
Oh, yep.
So I was
side leg coming up, but there's that bigger gap.
That
in between his
adductor
legs.
strength.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then
Stabilization.
I pulled a plate and a 25 off, so he just had 2 plates on there, and I had him angle his feet out, but like keep them close.
So they
And he
can't
could
cave.
barely get it up because
Yeah.
his adductors.
Right.
He's like, my fucking groin. He's
Yeah.
like, I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna rip
Screaming.
off.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, bro. So you need some adductors
Yep.
and abductors, and you need to slow it down and work on getting
Throwing some
those
glutes
knee-
in there, too.
That
Exactly.
knee drive and that knee line, but.
He's
it just
a great
goes to-
example of that.
Right. It just goes to show all he was focused on was depth.
Yes.
And tempo.
Moving A to B.
Yep. And like a really great tempo, really great
Yep.
depth. Just the form was caving. And
I'll say that when I train with any of you guys and we're training and I'm like pushing you on a set, just for like we're talking about legs for the context of this.
Yeah.
And I'll say, come on, like it's getting tough. And you
Yeah.
guys are putting in a lot of effort, almost failing. Like, yo, come on now, A to B, A to B. You guys automatically know what it feels like to move that from A to B with good execution, but also hitting the target muscle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but when it's really hard for that example, it's really, really hard to enjoy something like that. If like, okay, now I gotta restart from the ground up with this movement that he was doing. He was leg press, right?
yeah. No, hack squat.
Hack squat, and like, dang, my adductors are really taking over. But once you realize, like, once he builds his adductors up, this is what I'm getting at. Once he builds his adductors up, he's gonna realize, like, holy shit, now I actually feel my quads.
Yeah, way
because
He's gonna
the
level up,
stabilization
yeah.
here, he knows where to place the feet for his quads. Great stabilization, great base, whatever. Making sure his adductors aren't taking over. That's when he will really start to make a shit ton of progress, just like everybody else. When you can do a movement, like, okay, I'm doing this movement for quads, but like they just continue doing it, even though they're feeling it in their glutes and their hamstrings, because maybe their hamstring.
Well, it's like you
dominant.
said too. Like you dropped the weight so that he could do it more efficiently.
Yes.
So like
Dude.
we're
Yes.
gonna work back
Yes.
up to that weight, but he's gonna have, like you said, that stabilization. He's gonna have more
Right.
muscle there, and then
And he's gonna mentally
get stronger too.
He can
have a
the
better mind
emphasis,
muscle
yeah.
connection of leg training, because
Yeah.
he now knows, wow, this is actually strong enough that I'm actually to put so much more load on my quads now,
Yeah.
because in here is so much stronger. It's more stable, etc.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for people when that idea clicks.
Yeah.
Wow, I can manipulate the way I train to feel something different.
It'll
With my-
translate through all of your other exercises.
Totally.
With my stomach thing going on right now, I kind of was like, okay, I'm not going to be PRing every week. So I have gone completely backwards on everything and have done a full reset.
Yes.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but my form, I have
I noticed.
everything is 4 to 5 second negative.
Yep.
Everything is 1, 2. Because I'm not PRing. I'm not throwing weight around. So if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do it perfectly.
That's
I
how
noticed
Teo
this.
is right
Yeah.
now too.
Great example.
His training videos are like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because he just
Yeah.
goes so slow, squeezes. So it's like if you're going in. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a back step. It's more of just like a relearning process.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been doing that for chest all week, dude. Like I
Yeah.
was telling him, I have dumbbell flat press 3 deep on a chest day, and I haven't done that in forever.
That's
but
been a minute. Yeah,
but dude,
same.
but I went and grabbed the 70s this week, and I was like, all right, I got to record this and send it. So it's like I watched the video back, and I was just like, all right, that's like one of the first times in a while
You humble?
on dumbbell bench that I really, really felt my
Yes.
chest contracting.
Yeah.
As I was like I was forcing the 2-second hold at the bottom, driving as hard as I could forward, but really trying to feel my chest as much as I could while loading that negative and being like, okay, try to make this as difficult as possible on the way down.
And that right there is what I admittedly, so I have to get better at as an athlete myself, is not. There goes my knife. Not letting
scream.
not letting a setback, okay, you have your gut. Teo had his gut. I had my ankle injury, whatever, if you want to call it an injury. I have to do better as an athlete of realizing, okay, things are starting to come out of line with how I'm feeling things, how I'm executing, how I should be training with my intent. Like I did 405 on RDLs last night, the deficit RDLs. And you guys know I can fucking rip 5 plates with that shit.
Yeah.
I could have easily put 5 plates on last night, but I realized like, okay, how forward is moving. I've been having instances where it clicks in my head. That ankle injury, even though it sucked at the time, same thing with your gut, has made you take a step back, focus on things in a different lens. And it's actually making you improve a ton.
He did it to me the other week on RDLs.
What I'm saying is I have to be better at realizing, like, okay, check yourself more often so it doesn't take an injury to check yourself with how you're training.
Right.
Dude,
that is something that people need to learn. And I think that's what we're going through right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what you did, you didn't have to go through a fucking injury to check yourself.
Yeah.
I admit that. That's just something that I need to do better on. And I feel like people should actively,
You're so
think
funny
about
with that fucking ankle.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
So funny. Did I ever tell you the story of like when his ankle was like all fucked up?
Oh, it was
I don't think so.
Have I talked about that on here?
We both can. He fucking
yeah,
constantly
dude.
pushes.
Oh my god.
How many leg days during my recovery did you and I do where you fucked it up?
Yeah.
Dude. It's so funny. So we're at the gym and we're going out back and we go smoke, right? And we're talking about it and they got leg day today, right? And Nick was talking about how he's doing like some healing protocol to kind of like help like take care of his ankle, and he's like, it's feeling really good lately. And I was like,
this was the first time I fucked it.
And I called him out, and I was like, does that mean you're gonna like take it easy because it's feeling good and just slowly progress it back in?
No,
He's like,
time.
yeah, no, I know I sometimes don't do that, but like I'm totally gonna do that today, dude. I'm in the middle of my back day, so like all the leg equipment is across the gym to the left. So I'm all the way doing plate loaded rows, and I hear some yelling, and I see Devo on the leg press, and I was like, oh yeah, he's getting after it, fucking moving like 9-10 plates, like goddamn on the side backs or whatever. And then like 2 minutes later, I hear even fucking louder yelling. I just hear across the gym. And I look
there was
back,
no music, right?
And I see Nick's
No
fucking
music.
like boot, like tan, like Nikes or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's going fucking knee to armpit with like 10 plates. And I see Devo just spotting him going,
Devo's fucking screaming.
and I walk over just laughing. Nick gets out of the machine just shaking, bloodshot purple.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you taking it easy today? And he just starts laughing. I'm like, Jesus.
Dude, literally 2 minutes later, he goes, I fucked it.
Dude.
He was walking over by the hamstring curl, walking back and forth, and he's like, oh, fuck.
Because we went to hack squats next, and I could only do like 3 plates.
Gives a whole speech about being smart.
Bro,
Taking
I
it easy.
literally
Bro, that's what I'm
gave him-
saying, but I'm admitting I have to be better doing what you do.
I gave him
That's
a
so
speech.
funny.
I gave him a speech before that set. I was like, Nick, if this doesn't feel good, just fucking rack it. And he gets to 3, and he's like, we're going. And I was like, all right.
I think I put 9 plates on that bitch.
Dude, screaming armpit death.
I think I put 9 plates on there, and I looked at you. I did like 3 fucking reps. I'm like going up. I just hopped out.
yeah.
I hopped out. We slapped another plate on. I get right back in.
Because I did that too. I was like, I'm going to go up, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
And you were like,
I'm not going.
let me just feel it out. You did like 3, and you're like, yeah, let's go up. And I was like,
I think those
oh
are some of my
God.
best leg days is when like
Not
my
when you have
lower
a
back
broken fucking
feels
ankle.
tight. And I'm like, oh, I got to take it easy.
Yeah.
And without knowing I'm hitting PRs or something.
Yeah.
And then it's
You've
the days where I
overcome-
feel confident that
Yep.
I do not hit those.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And then it derails you.
Yeah, because you're overconfident and then you
Yeah.
expect something you don't get.
That
There'll be days where I'm like, I'm going to go hip press
Yeah.
like 12 plates today. I'm going to finally break
Yeah.
the 11 plate like marker. And I'll put 11 on, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it so heavy?
Yeah.
I do have a question. So
Yeah.
if you guys are at a certain weight for something and you like can't get like past that weight, but you have solid form, it's moving well, do you guys suggest like, is it better to dabble in that heavier weight and get a little sloppy with the form to try to break that, or
I'm a
just sit
believer in
in
that.
I'm a huge believer
sit
in
in that weight and really try to just like
No.
break it with?
So
I'm a huge believer in that.
I was just
100%.
gonna say it's crazy. So I used to tell this to like sports athletes because a lot of what they did was like PR chasing. You know what I mean? Like 3 to 5 reps is what a lot of those guys are doing.
Power,
It's
explosiveness.
quick power and explosion. And when they couldn't do that, say they'd be stuck at whatever for like 3 to 5, I'd be like, throw 5 extra on today and just get what you can. Make it still look the way you would do it, But just if you get one, fuck it, you got one, right? Like you need to teach your body like that adaptation. I talk about it all the time with people with like training. If you're doing the right things for recovery, just like when you get hot and you sweat, and just like when you get cold you shiver, you can force an adaptation onto your body, but it needs to be a consistent adaptation.
Yes.
I also think if you can hit that weight with good form, with perfect tempo and all that good stuff, then you can hit the next weight. Usually it's your fucking brain that's like
it's
holding you back.
The context.
He nailed the second part of that. Yeah, it's so much
usually
fucking
the head.
mental.
So once you just put that next weight on and you only get it for 4 or 5, but you get it for 4 or 5, you're like, all right, I know what that feels like. I'm not afraid of it anymore. Next week I'm going to try and hit it for 6 or 7.
Now, some people still don't, like, even though you do, will hear us saying that, but they still kind of think training with, for athleticism or just power benching, how pretty much we all started. Yeah. Like the difference between that and going for those rep range, like the sports athletes and stuff. And like what you just said, you're like, sometimes you'll tell them, hey, even if you just get one, you get one.
Right.
The context of that type of training compared to what we're doing with hypertrophy, it's
different.
And physique development, people can't just be like, okay, they said this on the podcast, I'm going to load my weight up, and I know you know better than this, and they're just going to try to get that one fucking rep because they're like, okay, my body needs to feel this load. No, dude, because we're going for rep ranges 8 to 15, 6 to fucking 10, whatever. We're going with consistent tempos, all that stuff. Sometimes it just means putting on, okay, let's say you do 7 plates, putting fucking 8 plates on a leg press, and just wanting to get 6. Because some people will be like, I'm just going to get 1. They're going to load that bitch up. But it's like the 6, even though it's under your rep goal of 8 to 12 per se, like, that's still, that's going to develop into 8.
Our coach,
go fucking heavy.
I won't go up in weight with anything unless I can hit at least 5 solid reps.
100%. You already know this. Yeah, exactly.
Our coach back in high school, he would, when we were like stuck on a weight, like say you're trying to get to 505 on squat or something like that, he would end up doing like high box 125%.
Oh, wow.
So like say your goal PR is 500, he would have you do high bars or high box squats with like 525.
Yeah.
So then that 500, you like know what it feels like on the shoulders. You know what it feels like on the body. You're not getting any real depth with it, but you're doing a tempo box squat and exploding up. It was huge for
us. You're just sitting on the box then?
Yeah, but he would do a high box so that you're not, because then you could go higher in weight. You're not doing a full depth squat.
Again, exactly what we're
adapt to what that feeling is like on your shoulders.
Yes.
And then the day that it came to be to do a full max out with a full tempo and depth, you would be like, okay, 500 feels like
that's
light
a
on my
strategy
shoulders.
we would use all the time. We'd have guys literally do bench presses,
explosive movements.
I'd have guys even just on bench press. Like I'd literally tell them what's a weight, like say your max is 400. And they can barely get it for a shaky one. I'll be like, go throw 405, go throw 410 on it. All I want you to do, I want you to treat it like you're about to go into a natural like rep, but all you're going to do is literally get it and walk it out. I want you to hold it for 3, and then I want you to re-rack it. Like you're literally just teaching people to feel like, because it's such a mental thing. I think when you start getting in those heavier reps of like, if you're picking a fucking scary weight, you should be like, holy shit, I don't know if this is going to go up. Right? Like that's an adrenaline rush, but it
first starts on the comfortable.
It's teaching that comfortability of just feeling the weight itself. Like I think that's such a good mental challenge. Like even on a squat, like you said, like stand it up, walk it out. Because even when you start going to the single, like double, triples, like you're a little shaky just walking your feet out.
I agree.
Like you're like, holy shit.
There's such a big difference when you get underneath the bar and it feels like the world's crushing you, and then the next time you feel like confident. It's a huge
I totally
difference.
agree.
Yeah.
We used to do the for the bench, like how we would do it for the squat. We would do the planks.
Yep.
So you'd have two 2x4s
right on the chest
together, and you'd have like it's the one sticking out a little farther, so you can do 2, and then you can flip it around and do 1, so that you're not going all the way down, but you would be getting used to your heavier weight on those lighter reps, and then you would just work your way down till you're touching chest.
That's kind of what I'm doing right now with those barbell squats, because like I said, I'm just starting to get into this habit now. So like putting the weight that I put on, I was like, I haven't done this in a minute.
365 is a chunk.
I'm doing this with no belt. I did it with sleeves, like knee sleeves, but
the strength
still,
is there. It's
no
just
belt.
used to
It's
it
just a matter of, all right, what does this feel
Feeling
like? How is it going to
weight.
feel going down on my quads? Am I going to get like that stretch and contraction that I need to get that growth? And it's just honestly just like one of those things. You just got to feel it out and just really understand what it feels like. So for next time, I'll it'll depend on how I feel. But like if I want to go up, I'll understand, this is what it feels like. I'm going to try to get it for, instead of 6 to 7, I'm going to go for like that 8 to 10.
You can take the same exact principle of what we're talking about here, and when you know how to apply it with the goal and outcome of hypertrophy, it changes your hypertrophy training.
Yep.
When you can take the principle of thinking like that as an athlete with a different style of outcome in the gym, change it how you need to for hypertrophy, fuck, man. That's when you start to get excited about your hypertrophy training, similar to as how you would get excited when you were training as an athlete, when you knew how things were feeling, the heavier weights getting easier and easier and easier. Because I sometimes miss the doing exercises like we were talking about the box squat, or with the what's it fucking called, bench, towel bench or whatever the fuck it's called.
We use that brick.
The brick.
Oh yeah, dude.
The plank. I miss the holy fuck. Last week I just did fucking 500 on box squat. Shit, man. Like I can't believe that I'm actually going for this now for a full squat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that excitement of training I miss.
Yeah.
Because it takes longer with hypertrophy training.
Right.
Yeah,
because your
longer.
strength, like you become really, really good at moving load as efficient as possible, as if you're training for strength. But when you're training for hypertrophy, you're trying to make the load as hard as possible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
There was nothing better than when you're going for a new deadlift PR and you like sit into it, and then at the minute you start giving, you feel that bar just flex a certain way, and you're like, it's going.
I missed that shit.
Like you get past that first 2 inches kind of rapidly, and you're like, it's going to be a fight, but we got it.
Dude, I remember that so vividly the first time I deadlifted 550.
Right.
It was like 500 to 550 was so fucking hard for me.
Yeah.
But once you pull that flex out,
Dude,
and it gets 2 inches, you're like, oh,
in
baby.
Afghanistan, I was like, I could not break 500. I could get like 475 for like 3, whatever. But every time it came to 500, I could not pull it. And then on the day of our competition, I watched my buddy Tom pull 585 or something like that. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was right there with him. Why can I not get past 500? So I put 545 on because I pulled 475 so easily. I was like, let's just blow past 500.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it was my last attempt, so you only get 3 attempts, right?
Okay.
So I was like, let's just go up there and either fail or pull something heavy. And I remember I like strapped it up, and I remember I was just sitting there. I was like, fucking just rip it, bro. And I remember I like loaded it, I swung it out, and I engaged the lats and drove it in. And I was just like, and I remember it just got those 2 inches so fast. I was like, this is going.
Oh yeah.
And then
I bet you remember that
all the way
so
through.
vividly.
I can remember it to this day like nothing. And I remember on bench I put 345 on.
Nice.
And I was like, never had done it before, but the way it came off the bench, I was like, oh, that felt
Would you guys
like when you get the perfect lock in?
Would you guys believe me if I said that I have never ever benched 405?
I've never benched 405.
I thought you have.
Oh, well, on Smith Incline, I guess, but I've never done it like free.
Because like we were the other night, when that guy asked me my bench, I thought to myself, I almost brought it up there, and I was like, no, I have to think back if I've actually done it. Never in my life. I bet I could.
I told him, I was like, he's probably in the 500s. If you really wanted to, I bet you could.
But it's a staple I miss. I wish I would have hit 405 on a bench before I started like fully going into bodybuilding. Because I want the pride of me saying that I fucking did it. I miss it, bro.
Like 3 plates and a 15.
When I was bringing it back at top line, I hit 315 for like 14.
Crazy.
So I think I could probably hit 405.
Boys,
if I got back into it.
We literally got in this conversation asking him about his day, and we just spent fucking 20 minutes on training.
Yeah,
40.
Oh shit!
How was your day? How was your week?
Well, I'm not going to talk about training.
How was your day?
Because I did have a great week of training, but RDLs felt fucking awesome.
Let's shift off training. We've talked a lot of training. So
100%.
How was your week?
My week was good, man. Yesterday, Kevin, you know who Kevin is. He competed in. It was my first ever time coaching somebody in WNBF bodybuilding, so it's a natural federation of bodybuilding. Nice. He's done NPC and OCB before, but they just introduced Classic this year to WNBF. So they're only doing, because it's natural bodybuilding. There's not that big of a variation between bodybuilding, like the bodybuilding division and classic. But they just introduced it, so they have, like I told you guys last night, their poses, their required mandatory poses are a little bit different to try to break up the difference. Yeah, you can look it up. I can send you photos of Kevin, dude.
So how is it?
I wanted to look this up because he said that there's different posing for the WNBF.
I'll show you right now.
Do not pull your phone out.
I will not pull my phone out.
Let's see.
Lance, look at this. That's his side chest. That's what they're required to do.
Oh, his looks great.
I know, but like the fact that that's they dock you points if you do a regular side chest.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
WNBF posing.
God, I love his look, bro. He didn't put any glaze on though. I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah. Let me see his other shots.
These are the only ones because the stage photos. That's him.
So that's mandatory.
That's mandatory. Like the one.
Oh,
thank you.
I see.
Crazy.
That's my favorite.
He's got great symmetry for a natural
This is his favorite
bodybuilder.
classic.
This all looks the same.
He looks great, dude.
Favorite classic pose.
Google sucks.
I really like Kevin's physique.
I will send you pictures, Luke, when you get back down here.
Kevin, get on gear and have some fun
Dog, that's what
with
I'm
it.
saying.
God, Kevin, stop waiting.
Yeah.
Clip that.
Get on,
Dude,
fucking-
Kevin, you'd be a crazy good.
Yeah, fuck you mean, buddy.
Hold on, before we show them that, I want to talk about a little bit more about Kevin. He did turn pro yesterday
Congrats.
in WNBF. So this is my first time. So there's a lot that I learned about WNBF Federation. So now he's competing at a pro show, or no, an amateur show next weekend to try to get his WNBF in bodybuilding, pro card in bodybuilding. But
That's so confusing.
apparently WNBF, from what I've been told from
Should just
him,
be called natural.
from other people, WNBF has a little bit more of a, for natural physiques is a little bit more of an upper echelon. You know, there's a little bit better competition.
Yeah.
And that's what I was told, and that's what yesterday's show kind of corroborated for me, because some of the guys were pretty fucking good, and the taller guys for Classic and the men's physique guys looked really good too. Nice. So I was really happy to see Kevin go pro naturally in WNBF, even though I know there's everybody out there like, dude, if you know how I feel about you if you're an OCB pro, you know what I'm saying? Like WNBF, but like he's a deserving natural pro, you know what I'm saying?
How much did he weigh?
180. So it felt good, yeah.
I hate the side men's physique pose in these.
Kevin, get on gear for the love of God.
See, that's the side men's
Like it-
physique.
I hate that.
It looks like
what the fuck is that back toe pose? I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that's what I'm
that
saying.
looks
It's so
ridiculous.
gay.
I know.
You're making a. Oh my God, get me off that.
Yeah, look. Like,
I'm a men's physique fan, and what the fuck is that? Just follow the regular poses.
That's what I'm saying.
Bodybuilding is bodybuilding. Just because you're natural doesn't mean you
But
should have
go to
different
that-
Not even
poses.
Like, I
flexing
hate
your
the
hamstrings.
side.
That
What's
looks
the
so
point?
stupid.
Go to the one to the right of that. Click on
This
him.
one. This one.
Yeah.
Why is the toe so spiked out?
Yeah,
I don't
terrible
like
pose,
that.
but like that's a
You could
physique.
make that physique look terrific by
Hold on,
changing
Let
the
me
pose.
see this
Yeah, I agree.
criteria.
Oh my God.
One hand on hip.
These are great
Either
physiques.
foot placed
That's a
forward.
good transition
calf on the
pose,
other
but
leg.
not an actual mandatory.
Shoulders should be angled towards judges. So, like, if you pose like this in the NPC trying to get like your
Second
pro card,
call
they're going to
right
be
away.
like, you're hiding your waist. Like, we want to see if your waist is wide.
It also just doesn't look very natural. It looks
know.
very
I
forced.
can't stand it.
yeah.
And I'll say this, man, it was just really cool, bro. The show ran well, and I'm really excited for him, man. It was a cool fucking show.
Oh god.
You look great. Kevin, get on gear.
I was happy with it. We have 3 more shows for the season,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Damn, why so many?
so he's doing another natural show in New York this weekend, this upcoming weekend.
He's
So
gonna collect some
he's
hardware.
literally in peak week again today.
Yeah.
But now it's a pro show, but he's trying to go pro in natural bodybuilding now for WNBF, because if you turn pro classic, you can't compete as a pro now. You have to, if you want to compete in bodybuilding for WNBF, you have to go pro into WNBF bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't they
So
just make
confusing.
one division for
I know.
natural?
I know.
Why
know.
OCB? Why W?
That's what I'm
whatever?
saying.
For the NPC, it's so easy.
Just call it
NPC,
natural.
IFBB.
Make it a natural federation.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Goddess
Bodybuilding.
or goddess
That's
God.
That's what I want to see.
You want to show me you love the sport?
godly.
Do it.
Hey man, but hey,
Yeah, dude. Let's see some more.
taking steroids is so much fun.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
I'm being serious.
This is body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bodybuilding.
Look at that.
That's what. That's
Imagine
what put
what
asses in the same.
imagine what Kevin would look like with his
Imagine
structure.
Kevin on
Right.
on some good. Wow.
He's like 17 there. And he's probably
Yeah.
20.
He's not 17. He's
He's probably
23.
19 or
He's
20.
23.
23.
Yeah.
22, 23. Yep.
That's crazy.
Back when he was wearing those shorts?
Yep.
Those guys
And he
were
was
21.
second at that show.
Yeah, he was second. I think he got second when he was
Is that
22.
when he had Breon?
Yep.
Yeah, and then 23 is when it's
Look
first.
how
went.
young
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at that
With the hair.
bro. Yeah.
Look at that camera quality, bro.
That's wild.
That's
dude.
crazy.
Those legs are crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And
man,
Ian just saw him. Ian just saw him working out at his high school gym and was like, "You're
gonna
gonna be a
bodybuild?
dog." Remember?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I was like, "You literally had MJ
Imagine
of bodybuilding, it's just hanging out at the high
cracked
school
up.
gym."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but think about that though. To also
That's
have
crazy.
Ian though is like a.
that's what I'm saying.
In the same.
just in a
location.
small town in Canada. Wow.
Yeah.
Just like,
Wow.
They
get
both
after
were just
it.
like, "Hey, do you want to blow
and
up?"
Melissa
Yep.
She
did
was
great.
crazy.
She was a genetic freak too.
Dog.
Just a family of mutants.
Yeah. Anyways, Lance, how was your week?
I actually had a really, really great week.
Yeah.
We had some pool sun yesterday.
Yeah.
Or sun
Found
in the
some
pool.
snags at the golf place yesterday. Got the bag upgraded.
Yep.
I scolded Devo, but then I was in the wrong for scolding him
It
with
was
the golf
fine. You
clubs.
could scold me.
I got pissed, bro. I was like, "What a fucking
No, I literally.
fun.
So,
so fun.
my
It's
coworker
so
sent
fun.
me. He's like, "Hey," because we were talking about it all week. He's like, "You got to get a bag of clubs. Like, you don't have to play, but he's like, come on." And I was like, "Fine." So he sent me off Facebook. He was looking on Facebook for cheap bags that he was going to send me, and then he sent me. He's like, "Dude, this guy's having a garage sale," and he's like, "I bought a ton of clubs from him before." He's like, he's having a garage sale down in Racine, selling like 10,000 golf clubs.
Crazy.
Nice.
And like
insane.
golf pieces of equipment. So it was open from 9 to 2. So he's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna go home or what I'm gonna do today." And I was like, "Well, if you're not going home, I want to go look at this place." But
Was
I
this
don't know
after
what
the pool?
No, this
Before,
was before. This
early
was like
morning.
10 a.m. And I was like, "I don't know what to look for. I need someone to kind of guide me."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Fuck it, I'll go." The golf clubs, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So we drive down there, and this guy's just sitting with his garage open and just golf
Tons of
clubs
shit.
everywhere.
It's like a mini pro shop.
Pretty good
Yeah,
ones, huh?
like crazy stuff. Yeah, and
for
so
great deals.
Nice.
we walk in and we introduce ourselves to him. We just ripped a joint in the truck, and then we get out and we're like, "All right, here we go." And there was no one there, so we introduce ourselves to him, and I'm like, "I'm building a bag," and he's like, "All right, what's your price range?" So he like kind of sets a bag down in the middle, and he's like, "Here's where we're gonna start grabbing from." So then I'm
Yep.
like, Lance is guiding me, so we grab some tailor-made wedges and stuff like that. Fast forward, I'm like, "How much are these shoes?" Because they were 10.5 Callaways that have never
Great
been worn.
shoes.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'll throw them in for $40." And
Nice.
we put it all together. I grabbed a $200 driver, $150 five wedge or
Five
five
iron?
wood.
5 iron or 5 wood? I don't even know.
Which one did you
It
get?
was
The
wood.
Paradigm.
Yeah,
You got the Cleveland driver. You got the Paradigm 5.
and then I
you
got-
got the good putter,
and then
and then you got a 4-pack of TaylorMade irons.
Nice.
well, no, I know I'm getting to that, but I was saying like I had 2 woods that I
Yeah.
got, and then I got
The 3 clubs you had were $300
anyways,
or more.
it was up to like $500, and he just like quick looks at it all, and he does this little thing with his fingers.
You
and
tell
he's
he was
like,
tweaking.
He's like, "300."
He was
this is
over.
autism.
We
It
were
was-
overstimulated
no, it was- I
because
think
he was just handing him clubs left and right.
I was just
And then
just putting
I
them in the
started
bag left
finding
and right.
shit that I wanted. So then I would like look at it and I'd look at it and I'd be like, price. And then every time he would try to help
Oh.
Devo, I'd be up in his face, give me a price. Like I just kept handing him more things,
That's
being like, what do you
funny.
want? What do you want?
Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
want?
Because he was also seeing stuff he wanted, so we were
Because
just.
I had a few
think-
missing pieces in my bag.
I think we were overloading
it.
him. So then he was just like, 300, and I was like, because
do-
I was expecting like
Yeah,
500
that's
or
crazy.
something,
So
600, and I'm like, okay. So I just quick give him 300 because I grabbed 200 cash, and I was like, I'll Venmo you the other 100, and then he looks at him, and he was at like what 385.
Yeah, I had $385, and then I handed him a $150 putter, and I was fully mentally prepared to pay him like $500 for all
Yeah,
this stuff.
yeah.
And he goes, "I'll cut you a deal, $350." After he had said
So he had
385, so I was like,
and
"Fuck
handed
yeah.
him another club,
Bring
and
it
he
up.
went down in price. We were
Bring it
driving away. I was like, I think that guy's retarded. Like, I don't think he can do the math.
That's a terrible.
No,
I
he
don't-
was a
I-
super
super
nice
nice
guy. He
Yeah.
has an awesome collection if
Yeah.
you guys are looking for golf clubs.
I think he actually genuinely liked us, so he was really
We were
trying
talking
to cut
golf.
us a deal.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did the math on it. I mean, I grabbed a club that was over $200, a club that was over $150.
You had $500
and
worth of shit.
And I did the math. I had 16 items that I paid for, and if you divide 300 by like 16, it was
20-some
like
bucks a
under
club.
$20. I was like, so I got
Dude.
all that shit for under
'Cause
$20 a piece.
when-
I got he even went into his car and
Gave him a
'cause
glove.
I was like,
Sick.
I want
Oh,
a
it's
glove.
Captain America
and he
glove.
goes, "Oh, I got a glove."
What?
He's like,
That's
he
sick.
tried handing me a white one and it didn't fit. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I got one in my car. Hold on." And he runs to his car, opens his car, opens up his golf bag, pulls out a blue glove that
Custom
goes
made,
on,
yep.
and it's got a red star, and then it's got the Captain America like
Wow.
white stripes going off the side. And I
No,
was like,
was he an old timer?
it was meant
Yeah,
to be.
probably
yeah.
in his like mid 60s, like
Okay.
early 70s.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no,
That's
it was
cool.
It
He
was,
gave me 3 packs of balls, like 150 tees. Yeah.
Well, dude, it was nuts because he was standing here, he was standing there, and then I was walking behind them still looking for like a 56 degree. And then all of a sudden he was like 300 to Devo, and my neck snapped.
Wow.
Like I turned and I looked at him and I was like,
I bet you it was game mode. You're like, all right, if that's what the price is going to give Devo, fucking hell, I'm going to start going a little quicker here.
I saw, because I thought, like, typically when you see, like, a garage sale for golf equipment like that, it's just really old shit. And I'm kind of like, I was, like, at one point, I was, like, handing him clubs to help him for, like, you know, good, moderate priced, like, irons, but I was kind of trying to, like, sneak in some good ones. And I just kept handing them to him and Devo. And at one point, the guy was like, well, you know, I'm going to have to bring the price up if you keep handing me more of the premium clubs. Because I was just like, I'm going to try to get him absolute snags out of these tubs.
Yeah.
But he had some really nice shit. Like, I mean, I walked out with 6 items that I was like, I'll look for a wedge today, maybe.
Yeah.
And he had some, like, really nice used equipment.
Nice.
And he was just, I mean, the deals we got were...
Apparently he just scowls, like, face. Because, like, if you really look hard enough and you are updating it constantly, like, Facebook Marketplace, like, some ladies will just sell, like, their ex-husband's, like, fucking golf set for, like,
nothing.
$25 just to get rid of it.
100%.
And it's, like, all pink and
$500,
shit like that.
$700 worth of shit.
And shit like that. Or even, like, some of my coworkers were like, I bought most of my shit from widows.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're an old lady. Their husband died. They don't know what to do with all this shit. They don't want it anymore.
Same thing with hunting gear.
Right.
Oh, I
Bro,
bet.
my boat, I got
bet.
my boat for fucking, I think, $1,100, $1,000.
Yeah.
Some guy that knows duck hunting, knows blinds, motors, he'd be like, dude, I'd pay fucking $6,000 for that.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know?
my dad got a...
But it was, I bought it from a divorced woman.
That's how we got our pontoon boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Some lady was going through divorce and like was selling everything, and she was just like $750. And my dad's like, we could sell that for $11,000.
Yeah.
If you can scan hard enough.
Yeah. Like he's like, it's in fine condition. It just needs a new engine.
Yep.
But dude, I even told him the clubs that we got, we could have literally left, went on eBay and started bids, and I was like, we could both double our money if we wanted to right now.
That's insane.
Like
Instead we
when
went to
we
the golf
left, I
course.
was like, this is great.
Dude,
But
that's
yeah, then we
dope.
took it to the golf course.
We took it to the golf cars.
We tried them out.
Yeah. We
How was it? You sore today?
No, I feel great.
Really? I feel
still
like I'd
like
be
it.
sore.
His first drive with the new driver was pretty sick.
Really?
He was like, let's see how this thing goes. Whooting! And it just fucking I was like, holy shit.
It can rip.
Yeah.
It can rip.
I did not have any of those. I had a
lit.
couple good wedge shots though. I
You
was
doing
figuring out the
very
wedges.
good in the short
Yeah.
game, and that's where I struggled my ass off.
You
Yeah.
can hit those short
He had
ones.
a fucking
I had a-
45-foot putt. It was
Damn.
I was
You
like
sunk it?
yeah.
It's like I don't know how to describe
crazy.
watching
Crazy.
a insane
I was
long
crazy.
putt sink.
Yeah.
But it is like it just feels like I don't know how it's like a perfect sports moment.
Wow.
That goes so bad.
Yeah, he lines it up and he goes clink and I'm like that has perfect speed because I was standing by the hole and he was standing over there. So you can kind of tell from the hole like well before it gets there whether it's
It
going
just
or
kept
not.
moving towards
And
him.
I was like, oh, he's got perfect speed. And where about I was thinking it was going to die, it ran right through it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, that's coming right at it. And then it just goes right in. And
That was
I
my
was like,
first par of the
damn.
hole
I'll
3.
say this. So I don't know. I'm going to ask this actually because I don't know. I've never played legit, like a legit round of golf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Consistency, no. Like I've done like 6 holes, but I've never.
When we all go
gone
together,
through- yeah.
we'll just play
So
best ball. Like
Right.
wherever he lands, we'll all just play.
Okay.
Because everybody can figure out wedges faster
Yeah.
than drivers.
That makes
So
sense.
when we play best ball, it'll just be like we'll all drive, but instead of going and finding all our balls, we just play off his.
I was gonna ask though, like when you're golfing and you've played what would you say hundreds of games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like is golfing the type of skill where you have like 1 week you have a great fucking
Oh yeah,
game,
it's
okay?
not even a
And
week.
then the
It's
next
like
week,
whole.
is it how frustrating is it the next week if you're off and like trying to figure out
It's
where
not
you're
even the
off?
next week, Nick. It's like literally
It could
the
be
next
the next
hole.
shot.
Okay,
Like
the
there,
next hole.
he had like
It's
a
so
brilliant.
mental, dude.
He had a brilliant first hole, second hole. He had like
Was it
8
dog shit?
shots.
I was talking
So it's
to
kinda-
myself
okay.
like walking across the green while he was like I remember he had a really good chip and I felt like a dick because I didn't acknowledge it because I was so upset because he's just like, "Do you see my hit?" And I was just like walking by and I'm like, "You stupid son of a-"
I had a perfect chip. It was like
I
fucking
was so mad at
probably like
myself.
110 feet away, and then all
Landed
of a sudden I
a
landed
plopped
it right
one.
on the green, and I was like nailed it. And then I look over, and he's just fucking
That's
staring
hilarious.
straight forward, walking a different way. I was like,
throwing his clubs in the fucking river.
Dude, that's funny.
It's not week by week. It's hole by hole.
Okay.
They're like,
Dude, I mean,
I totally see
you do.
it.
I mean, like golf is just one of those things where it's so much repetition that, like, I mean, like the professionals, man, like it doesn't matter what club you hand them, like what scenario, like the swing looks the same every time. Like it's so engraved into them. Like I don't think I'll ever. The one thing that frustrates me with golf is I don't think I'll ever be as good as I was when I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Because like when we were on the team, you got free golf memberships if you were on the high school team.
Yeah.
So, dude, every day at 3 o'clock, I just went straight to the course and played 18 to 27 holes.
Yeah.
Because you're in high school. You don't have any responsibility. You're
Right.
just golfing. And it was the sports team that I was on. So my parents were always super supportive of like, put as much time as you want into it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what an awesome sport. You're just out there sipping a Gatorade Zero,
Yeah.
chewing on some sunflower seeds. Whereas now as we're older, we're ripping a joint, just enjoying nature. But I mean, like, it's frustrating. But like, even the worst round, you'll still go home and be like, that was nice. I got to be outside. I got to enjoy like nature and weather. I got to do something active. It's
Yeah.
just, I've never left golf and been like, that fucking sucked. Like maybe my round sucked, but I'm still always pumped that we still got to go out and do
I'd enjoy it with like you guys, but it's I definitely.
It's-
If I was with
it's
you guys,
fun to
I
play
feel
by
like
yourself,
I feel
dude.
like it would be If I
I'll
was with
never
you
play
guys.
by myself.
love it.
I want to get an outfit. I want to get a nice little polo, some nice
Nah,
shorts.
bro, I just wore this.
I wore a baggy raw
sweatpants
t-shirt,
and a
long
t-shirt.
socks, and some Nike shorts. Yes,
I
Did you
wanna
guys
look the
smoke
part.
as you're playing like we do
Yeah.
with Frolf?
Yeah.
Huh.
We
We're burning,
smoke
like,
at,
hole 3, hole 7.
3
I wanna drive the
and
golf
7,
cart.
Yeah.
You can drive a golf cart.
You would be fucking.
It's 2 people
Would
per.
it turn into a war zone?
Yeah, dude.
It's 2 people per golf cart. So if we
Oh,
go
we
with
can
all
have-
4 of us,
yeah,
it'll
yeah,
be
we
2
can
cars.
I'll go with
dude,
you.
You want
Oh,
to talk
yeah.
about a sport though that's like all mental, dude? I mean, like that's the one where you gotta like keep your head on a sleeve at
Yeah.
all. Because I mean, like
Okay.
if you let your frustrations get the best of you, like it's so easy to let one bad shot turn into like a bad 2 hours.
I feel like I'd have a good time, man.
Quick,
I'd have
it's quick.
I'd have
I
a
used
few
to do
golf sigs out there.
Now that I've grown up, that's what happened back in college. I ended up not playing anymore because I would get so fucking mad.
It can
It'd be like hole
Yep.
2, and I'd be
Yep.
like, "This sucks. The next 4 hours sucks. I don't want to do this anymore."
Well, there's
Now
nothing
I'm
worse than
older,
like
I'm
going
I
to the
don't care.
range and like hitting like 50 to 40, like just clean shots. You feel good. You're feeling confident. And then like the next day you go out and you're topping everything. You're
Yeah.
hitting shit into the woods. You're losing golf balls. Because on top of it, you're paying money to do it too.
Yeah, you're just-
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's the
You're
fucking-
paying money to
Yep.
go out there and play something. So you just handed a guy
Yep.
like 40, 50 bucks to just go get pissed off for 3 hours.
I mean, bro, the same
can
thing
get-
with hunting.
Yeah,
I'll fucking
yeah.
go travel an hour at 2 a.m.
That's crazy.
Load my boat. I'll be by myself. I scouted a spot, great spot. I've shot tons of ducks there before. I'll get out there and I'll sit for 3 hours in the fucking bitter cold snow. I'll see 2 ducks or I'll see shit ton of ducks and I'll only shoot 1 because my aim is off.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Frustrating as shit.
And I'm spending hundreds of dollars
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
per
dude.
week on duck hunting.
Dude, I think,
it's
like,
fucked.
Golf is a
So it's same concept for golf.
Yeah, it's a luxury
Wow.
sport for sure, but it's one of those where like once you kind of like I feel like if you did just 1 or 2 lessons, I think you'd fucking enjoy it so much more.
I would have to have a lesson.
We'd have to take lessons.
Trial by fire.
Dude, golf is
Yeah, if you do it, I will.
Golf is very complicated, dude. Like it's not one of those things. I mean, like there are naturals that like just walk in and swing. Like I think playing baseball, like just like the motion of it probably helped me when I transitioned into it.
Yeah.
But I still have horrible habits where I know I should for sure be getting lessons on stuff. Like, because when you get good at it, dude, it's fun as fuck.
yeah.
Like when you're in control, you're smacking them on the green from like what's that feeling like when you have a perfect chip and it lands like 2 inches from the pin?
Yeah.
It's
nice.
such a
That's
set.
dope.
It's a weird, satisfying like dopamine
Yeah.
release to just like, or like when you bomb one off the tee and you just watch a ball perfectly going down the fairway. You're just watching it like fuck yeah.
The last time I touched a golf club was when we were fucking rolling off of shrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We talked
we
about
We were
doing a
gonna do that
microdose.
the other night.
A
We
microdose actually, I think, would probably allow us to play better because it would put us in such a
You'd lock in.
relaxed state. Yeah,
It's actually a good.
Dog,
idea.
I feel like taking shrooms and golfing would be just so ideal.
I hit really
Yeah,
well
'cause
at
you-
Top Golf that day.
You
when
lock
we hit
in,
it.
Yeah.
and when you're
Yeah.
on shrooms, you want to move.
Yeah.
So like you're just
Feels
constantly
so
moving.
nice.
Yeah.
And you're out in nature too, so a bunch
I
of
feel like like golf shrooms don't count, bro.
no.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the type of that's the time
Make
where
that a
it's
t-shirt.
totally make that shit a t-shirt. It's totally normal. Like I joke around like drunk cigs don't count, golf cigs don't count. I think golf shrooms definitely would.
You're automatically going to be set in a perfect
time.
mental state.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
in nature. You
We just go out there in a few weeks.
It's like
We're just like,
water.
dude. That I think that's got to be fun.
no,
I mean,
that the
even
environment
when we've
of
done-
golf is so calming.
Even when we've done like a heavy dose, we just want to go for a walk.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, yeah.
it would just be walking and hitting balls. I'd
Yeah.
be fine with that.
Yeah.
Wind in your hair. Yeah.
Dude,
Oh, it's
shrooms are a
such a-
fucking time, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We got to do a group shroom session.
I know. We've
Yeah,
been
we
missing
do.
out.
We do.
Bad.
Luke, we'll take you on.
I would like to do a mushroom pool.
You can
day.
do
I'll
shrooms
watch.
too.
We can go disc golfing. Let's go.
There we go. You can babysit. Yeah.
Disc golfing would be crazy off shrooms.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
The trees just.
Bro, I love doing crazy shit off shrooms.
We haven't done it in a long time. I'm
Adrenaline?
doing a ton for Hosier.
The last one I did was when we were on the podcast. Remember we did a shroom podcast?
That's the last time you
Did
did
we?
shrooms.
When
I
did we
think
do that?
so. That was like, I don't know.
That was like season 1.
I don't even know if we did that.
Yeah,
Oh,
did
yeah,
do
we
shrooms.
did do
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Dude,
that's
you
crazy.
actually were locked the fuck in.
The whole
I
fucking
barely
mothers were
remember
moving.
that.
Yeah,
Holy
you
shit.
did
Fucking
say that.
wild.
Dude, that was over a year ago for sure.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I need
Dude,
to-
fuck, man.
I need it. I have all those lemonade packets.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Shroom lemonade.
That would be actually nice on golf day.
I wonder if my chocolates are still good.
I'm for sure doing
They'll
them
last
for
a while.
Hosier though. I want Hosier to like fucking rock my entire.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's Hosier?
The
artist?
The artist.
Oh.
Aaron and I are seeing him.
You'd know
Oh,
him
a
if
festival.
you heard him. You'd heard. You'd
No,
know him if you heard
Hosier. He's like a.
One
I
of
don't
the-
even know.
I'll play a song.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Play a
Find
song
something.
quick.
I got you.
All right,
We can't play it too long.
Oh, yeah, we'll get
play it.
monetized.
You'll
Or
understand who
demonetized.
it is right away.
I bet I've heard them.
No, give him like
Take me to
take.
church.
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Taking shrooms for that?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm putting that back.
Fucking cherry time.
Where's the? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's good.
Yeah, him.
I'm gonna be just like.
I'd be wavy
levitate.
as
Oh, that's
fuck.
you're so lucky.
And we're seeing the Lumineers, and
That's gonna be awesome.
Then we're going to North Coast in September.
Oh yeah, we
Dude, I want to go to a festival and take a lot of drugs.
Yeah, come to the next Illinois one.
Yeah,
Luke.
dude, you
I
have
thought
to
we were
come.
gonna do North Coast every year.
Luke,
Yeah.
you gotta don't knock it till you try it, man. All right, it's a hell of a
It's just
time.
always entertaining. It's always entertaining to hear the stories.
No, you have to experience it.
You can join our. We're doing North Coast every year, so you're more than welcome. To
I'll
join.
come, dude. When's the dates?
I think it's
Like a
September.
Saturday?
Yeah,
All right.
September 8th.
It's a hot
Is
weekend.
Erin
but it's
going?
fun.
Yeah,
I bet Riley would go.
Yeah.
Because that's when her summer semester's done.
we get a hotel room. We rip down Saturday morning.
Yep.
Smoke a ton.
Go to a.
We're gonna plan it out better this time.
I'll
to-
take some fucking
yeah.
Molly.
Go to a
I'm not
couple
gonna fucking
different.
wear those backpacks again.
We won't have to go and sit in the sun all day. We
Soaked
can.
ass.
Oh, I was on prep. When you, no,
Yeah,
I
you're
wasn't
on prep.
Did they have it at, not in September last year?
No, they did.
Yeah, it was September.
Okay, well, I was out of prep then.
Were you just getting out of it?
I got out of prep early July 6th.
What the fuck?
So I must have just been that September time.
Yeah.
Maybe I was traveling for a show or whatever. But I remember you guys going to that. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
you guys
because
going.
remember we watched him before we had a pool day when he won
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Fucking sick. Anyways, so it's gonna be the summer of music.
I gotta get some tickets.
That's why I want it to be the summer of
want
music. I want to get a lot of outside and a lot of
I
music.
want it.
Yeah.
I've been getting pretty tan lately, man.
Say we've all been doing a
And
pretty
movies.
good job.
Speaking of,
Yeah, let's
dude,
go
we
right to
gotta-
that.
How to Train a Dragon.
How
fucking
to Train
Luke.
Your
Don't waste your
bullshit.
time. Don't waste your time.
I just saw another person posting on their story like perfect movie, and I,
I
was
see
like,
all the
no, gotta
comments
be-
too, and I'm just like, did we watch the same movie?
They
This
didn't.
movie
Kill, they didn't kill a single fucking dragon.
No, there were no dragons. There were
They talked a
wasn't
lot
good.
about it. No, it was horrible.
Okay, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this.
for kids.
If you're
too.
going to the movie, if there's like is it DreamWorks?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
DreamWorks. If
yeah.
you're going to like any movie where Disney had made it original, was a cartoon, DreamWorks, whatever, and you want to watch it for what it is, for how identical it can be to the storyline of the cartoon or the one that was made 20 fucking years ago, whatever. If your kids are watching it, if that's what you want, but if we were like, I was at least expecting
A little bit of a twist.
it to be a little bit of a twist, to not follow the exact same plot line. I was expecting it to be a little bit different, like actually going into it more where they're more Viking-esque. I knew it was gonna be a kids movie.
Yeah.
but I just
But you
wanted a
could've
little
made
bit.
that so
I
much
wanted
better,
a
though.
little bit of like it spiced up a little bit.
it's the
It was
acting for me that makes
confusing.
movies.
It was confusing. There was a 31-year-old redhead dude
Yes.
that was on the kids team. There was a 30-year-old
17-year-old
woman.
hiccup.
There was a 17-year-old hiccup.
Yes.
The light-skinned bitch was 20. Like,
Yes.
I'm like, what age are we going for here? First off,
Was she
It
light
looked
skinned?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the inaccuracy
In-
of the look.
I just need better acting. And
He
better
was
I
horrible.
think I need better
Cheesy
acting
as
and better dialogue.
He was a
Even
horrible
like
actor.
with Marvel movies
Fuck,
that are
dude.
cheesy. It's the dialogue
Yeah.
that always fucks it up. If
He
you
was-
don't get
yeah.
me, if you don't give me goosebumps when you say something, it's not a good movie.
I
He was
agree.
trying to
I
be
agree.
like nerdy and like dorky, and I hated it
Because that's how he is in the original.
I wanted to
I know, but
Yeah.
like
I did want that. I
that-
wanted the characters to be a little bit different.
you know,
could still be dorky or whatever. Just I don't know, be a better actor.
It's just everything felt so like, you know what I mean when
He
it
would
feels
talk back
forced. It
to
feels
Vikings.
forced.
Yeah.
Everything felt like so forced. Like, don't get me wrong. It felt like I was at like a shitty musical.
yeah,
Yeah.
If they would have
Yeah.
had ass
Yeah.
singing between every
Yeah.
10-minute scene, that's what it would have felt like.
I'll tell you what,
This
man.
was live action, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You could take the plot line of How to Train Your Dragon, and just like kind of how they did for the movie Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah.
Dude, and that was a funny movie. That
And
was
make
actually
it look-
action.
yeah,
as, action
I enjoyed
as
it. A good
fuck.
movie.
You could take the same plot line and have it be 5,000 times better if you actually put character
grow it
and
up a little
plot
bit
behind
and-
something, and you can actually put a little bit of gore into it, a little bit of humor into it. You can make it for what it
Awesome.
actually is,
They could've
instead
made
of
that
just
sick.
bro.
The-
Line for line, it was like the original animated movie. Line for line.
The mentor, the like mentor with the
I couldn't
hammer,
stop
I couldn't
laughing.
stand him.
The
Couldn't
same
stop
exact
laughing.
scenes. Like, remember the scene from the animated version when they're fighting the dragons in like the pit,
Yeah.
and he literally puts that like hammer attachment on his arm and puts the dragon in there with that.
Yeah.
They did that in the fucking live action last
Yeah.
night. So unrealistic, so fucking cheesy, just like the scene from the original.
Yeah,
The only highlight of the film was the actual like
Dragon.
The CGI was really good.
I did like
dragons
the
were sick.
dragons.
The
I
fly.
thought,
But even there's a scene where they're both flying on him and they're up in the night sky, and I was just like, did you guys just lose all funding for production in
Yeah.
this moment?
Yeah, I agree.
It literally looked like they were on like a little machine with like a fan in their faces and just like little
they're having a
twinkles
casual
of black-
conversation. You know
Yeah.
how loud that
Oh,
would be.
flying.
Yeah, a
they-
casual like we'd just be sitting there and be like,
Well, hiccup.
what are you gonna tell your father? And it's just like, dude, you guys are moving at supersonic
He's
speed right
flying
now,
at
up
like
in the clouds
100
on a
miles an
fucking
hour.
majestic
Like a plane.
dragon.
On top of that, there's fucking barely any oxygen up there.
And there's no hair wind blowing. They're literally sitting up there like they're in a car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you guys are zooming right
Yeah.
now.
driving.
Yeah, it was so.
What are you
Nightwing
gonna
dive.
do? Yeah,
And also,
bro.
I also felt this right off the bat. It was okay. Go back to any Marvel movie where it's not as gory. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just go back. I felt like right off the bat, that's how I felt just seeing the first scene of this movie. I'm like, okay, they're gonna not. Like they always talk about killing dragons. They're just beating dragons up in this movie.
They didn't even show
Marvel,
him, like,
in some Marvel
physically hit
films.
them half
These
the time.
superheroes won't even kill anybody. They'll just knock somebody out.
Ass.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking Scarlett Johansson only like knocks people out.
Yeah, dude, when the
You know
dragon
what I'm
was
saying?
fucking spitting fire at these people, I'm like, why are these guys not dead?
That's what I'm saying.
They all
literally
survived
You
somehow.
literally get hit by a fire.
Bro.
wooden shields
Every-
just covering dragon fire. With
Every
like a
time
group
the
of people.
dad jumped in, he would just punch him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
with
just
his
like,
bare
there's no
hands.
way
I
you
looked
can
at
fight
Lance.
that.
I was like, dude's got a sword and threw hands.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like one of the people fighting a dinosaur in Jurassic Park. It's just like, dude, it's not even.
There was a scene literally
It's
where
tough.
Nah,
he
happening.
threw his cape off and he had this huge sword and he was just punching this dragon.
Man, I
in the
get it. You're
face.
Vikings. You're supposed to have that, like, fucking want to, like.
You have a
kill shit,
sword.
but,
I'm
like,
going
and,
right
and
through
an
its
axe
jaw.
the size of like a fucking human.
Yeah,
Yeah, like. I
Crazy.
don't know.
Anyway, don't waste your time.
fucking waste of
Trash.
time.
If you're a child,
I'm
maybe.
never seeing a
The
remake.
big dragon was kind of sick.
I don't think. I
big
think that
dragon's
leads
cool.
me to my thing though. I think I'm if they make live renditions of certain
I'm done with
cartoons,
it.
I think I'm done. Unless
Cars.
it's superhero, I'm done with it.
Unless I know.
superhero.
It's just it's better in cartoon version. Like I really do think if they make a live action Invincible, it's gonna slightly ruin it for me.
I'll say this though. They did when they made a
Don't say
live
that.
action
It's
Aladdin.
gonna be not good.
Did you guys watch a live action Aladdin?
No,
Never.
I'm not gonna watch
Did you
it.
see
Will
that?
Smith was in it. And Will
I
Smith
actually-
was
yeah,
in
I
it.
liked
that
it.
was
Maybe I
pretty
did.
good.
I was pretty
Oh,
good. It
yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
I did watch some of that actually.
Anything
I
Will
watched it.
Smith.
The live action Beauty and the Beast, fire.
For real?
Watched it. Oh yeah, I loved it.
Really?
Beauty
Swear
and
to
the
God, the live action one with Emma Watson.
Didn't even
I
try.
fucked with it.
Beast. Oh, Emma Watson's
Fuck
in it.
yeah,
That's
dude.
right. That's right. It's
Fucking
good.
A. Why do you think I
Guess
like
I'll-
this so much?
You know what? Maybe I'll turn that live action.
Live action with Emma Watson, I thought it was not a bad movie.
Again, actors.
Yes, exactly. You're totally right.
Yeah,
Speaking
it was
of
a shit cast.
Speaking of the new casting of the Harry Potter's like kids came out and I was like,
Yeah.
that is like these kids' lives are changed
Yep,
forever.
yep.
How old are they?
Now,
They're
Young.
children.
Really?
They're like 7.
At least 2 sexual assault cases are gonna come out.
Oh
of
my
those.
god, that's
Nothing
awful.
came out of the original Harry Potter crew, and they were like 10 and 11
Just
when
being
they.
out.
But I will say this though,
that kid died, but like
their lives are going to change. But dude, the thing is, I don't think their lives are going to change as much as the actor of like Harry, Ron, Hermione, even the background people.
They're the OGs.
Like the tertiary characters, of the movie, like Seamus from, or Dean or whatever from Harry Potter. Like those movies were so fucking legendary.
You'll never top them.
That if they're probably, odds are they probably will fuck up this Harry Potter remake. And those kids, like,
I'm hoping
that's
with
why
CGI
I don't think
they don't. And they're doing seasons, so like every movie is a season now.
It makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's kind of slick.
So they can actually play out the one thing about the Harry Potter movies is the books got so much more in depth.
Yes.
So you'd be like, well, this doesn't even make sense really in the movie, but they just rush the storyline.
Is this show going to be like filler stuff that we didn't get to see for the movies, or is it exactly
it's
the
a full
movie?
remake, but they're doing seasons for it so they can lengthen the movies.
They should do things that we didn't get to see in the movies.
I agree.
Because that would be fine.
Like stuff from the books that they're putting in. I totally agree.
Don't touch something that's good.
They're remaking
Don't
it.
retouch something
They're doing
that's
a full remake.
It's gonna ruin it,
bro. Harry Potter is one of those movies.
That was Daniel Radcliffe. I'd be like, fuck off.
You shouldn't really mess with trying to change it.
Right.
So, same thing with the original Lord of the Rings.
Like,
man.
I know. I wish we could get the original Lord of the Rings with the same exact cast to remake it with today's CGI. I know. We'll never get it.
No. But I will say, dude, Lord of the Rings, 3 films, was it 11 Grammys?
Really?
Oh.
I think leave that exactly how it is.
No, I'm just saying, if
CGI
you
was
could
so
have
good.
only the original cast, that would be the only way.
With like
But
today's
if
movie production technology.
nowadays, they would just recast everybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see.
Tom
what you mean.
Holland's Bilbo.
I see what you mean though, man. But Lord of the Rings, I think Lord of the Rings is one of those ones where.
Dune. I can't wait for Dune.
Oh yeah.
Have
That's
you
kind
guys
of
seen all these AI movies?
Bro, I love the Sasquatch, the Bigfoots. I'm loving that
the
shit.
so
animals
funny.
talking
They're
with
so
the
out of
tripods.
pocket. It's getting crazy.
It's
With the
fucking
ape
hilarious.
going and vlogging.
Yeah,
I
love
sent the
it.
Superman
I
and
can't stop
Batman
watching
one.
That one was
And
crazy.
like hot girls come up in it, and they're like, "Come on, Superman, come with us." Batman's
It
like, "What
looks
the fuck?"
so real,
Have
bro.
you
And it's
seen
just starting. That's
how
kinda
real,
wild.
like,
Not good. Not good.
Have you
at all.
seen how real the other like the AI videos of actual people are? Like they'll make AI videos of like reporters, like news reporters, and it'll look like a fucking news report. Yeah. It's crazy. Have you, like it's believable for me to then like recreate something where like it's an ape talking or a gorilla talking or a cat vlogging. You know what I'm saying?
It's
For
easing
me,
us into it.
Exactly.
The internet's
But it's
easing it out.
it's creepier for me to view somebody and like,
and
yo, that
easy.
person looks so real, but that's AI.
And they're using like all of them have such like they use such weird terms. They're like, "That's fire, bro."
Yeah, it's just such a.
I'm like-
It's hilarious.
You could tell it's not real, but like just by the way that it's just like put together,
It's
like
so
that could
impressive,
be
though.
The
real.
dog one
So
was
impressive.
crazy. He's like, "My human's over there,"
Yeah,
blah.
yeah. There's one where the fucking with Bigfoot and Yeti do cocaine.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
we're
God.
just here
I
in the
know
woods.
what you're talking about.
The humans left us something they call cocaine. There's ones that they're making with Tren.
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's like an airdrop of
Yep.
a pallet of Tren.
They start shooting it.
Yeah,
put
and they're like,
lifting
it
weights
says
in the
if we take this shit, we just get instantly stronger. They fucking inject it. They're just benching shit. Like
That's
fucking, it's
crazy.
like, dude, you just bench 2,500 pounds. That's rad, bro. Like these
That's
Yetis shit
hilarious.
saying that shit. It's so funny.
There are also ones where it's kind of like ads. You know how like TED Talk people have like ads for
Yeah.
shit. They're doing that now. It literally looks like real people. Are like,
Wait, really?
yeah, it's kind of like it's so weird, bro. It's crazy how real this shit's getting.
That's crazy.
Joe Rogan said he's been used in AI for like a bunch of different companies. So now he's like trying to find them all and sue.
Oh wow.
I've
They're
seen it.
like
I've seen
literally AIing him because he's on the internet so much
Yep.
that now
Just
AI
take his
can replicate
voice.
him
Yep.
perfectly.
Yep.
So like it's just like him. He'll be like, "Oh, try these new shoes. I use them all the time."
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's not really him saying.
Completely
Yeah.
different
Oh,
company.
that's
Yeah.
gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like a blow
They've done
bro.
that for so fucking
I've
many
seen a
people.
couple Instagram ones because I'll get an ad and I'll like see if they've ever had an episode on his thing. And
Yeah, it's never there.
I'm
Never
like,
there.
yeah.
And
Like,
he doesn't do
interesting.
endorsements like that, bro.
You're right.
No.
100%.
Right.
He'll be
That's
honest.
scammy.
Like it's so scammy because the first 2 seconds of the reel could be like just it literally could be Joe Rogan on a podcast just talking, but it'll be shitty enough quality where it'll look like he's saying, "All right, no, so tell me a little bit more about this, how it works. I love it." And then it'll go into the actual ad portion,
Yeah.
and then it'll be a voiceover of somebody else running the fucking ad. Joe Rogan's just the hook,
Yeah.
and people believe it.
Yeah, it works.
Crazy.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I'm sure plenty of middle-aged old men will be like, "Oh, he uses it."
Yeah,
Let me
100%.
click on that.
100%.
Oh my god. Anyways, let's start wrapping it up. We've had a wonderful Sunday. Fuck
No.
Train Your Dragons, but everything else has been pretty great. Zach, final thoughts?
Yeah, no, everyone, it was a good episode. Happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, damn it.
Happy
We
Father's
should
Day.
have called our fathers.
No.
My dad'd be out
Less
of pocket.
wholesome. My dad would just be like,
Like, what do you want?
"Sup?"
My dad would probably call me gay.
Yeah.
Swear, he's like, that's fucking gay.
Mine
If I
would
told her
probably
on the
say
podcast.
what's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Anyways, final thoughts.
Yeah, no, have a good week.
Nick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. In 2 weeks, guys, we have. Should I announce it about Junior Nats?
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, guys, we have Mr. Paul Lozon coming on the podcast again to review and go over, just recap Junior Nats. Junior Nats is coming up this upcoming Friday. You guys, this releases on Wednesday. So, yeah, I got 2 athletes in Junior Nats. I'll come back on Saturday, so I will be here for Sunday.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah, man.
There's
but
going to
other
be a
than that-
week lag, but we'll get that review out.
Yep. So in 2 weeks we'll be reviewing it. So
Yeah.
that's when Paul comes on. But yeah, other than that, just enjoy training and that's it.
Okay.
The outros are so
Lance.
hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Just recap. What are your final
Man,
thoughts?
we already talked
Jesus.
about it all. Have a good week.
I don't
Fuck
know,
off.
man.
Yeah, no, weather's nice. Just get outside and keep enjoying it. If you like golf, it's the perfect time of the year to get out there.
Yeah.
I need to get some clubs.
You do.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Find a task to do outside.
Oh yeah.
Get
Dig
a
a hole.
motorcycle. I just put the battery in on mine, and
about
we're ready and rocking
Bro,
again.
You're not gonna get more.
if we all got bikes, let's pause the
It'd be
outros
so
here for
fun.
a second.
We were too
If we
scared.
all got bikes, bro,
It'd be fun as fuck.
how
Yeah.
fun would that be?
That's
It'd
what
be
I
so
said
fun.
to him yesterday when he came over with it. I just kept staring at it after he started it, and I was like,
How's the adrenaline dump with a
Oh,
motorcycle?
it's so fun. The first ride, you're just like, oh, there we go.
Okay,
We're back.
because I
just the freedom feeling, dude.
good.
I
You
love
just-
ATV riding.
you go from
Yeah, me
zero
too.
so I
to
bet that's way more fun.
you go from 0 to 100 like right away. Like the minute you rip, it's just like, wow. I could teach you guys all. It's super
Yeah, you
easy.
could. You could.
I rode yours in the parking lot one
Yeah,
time.
he rode mine in Top Line's
Scary
parking
as
lot.
shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Scary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power.
A lot of power.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there.
What-
There's no protection.
Yeah.
What what size
holy
motor is yours?
Mine's an 880,
Okay.
so it's a smaller
It
one.
literally
It's
feels
just
like a
for
car.
so quick.
It feels like a car seat and literally a wheel. And
I would love
you
a-
have wheels. That's pretty
I
much
would love a
it.
cheap little classic Indian.
Yeah,
Boys,
that's pretty much right.
I like
It's just
yours.
a cheap
Yours is
classic,
nice.
like Harley
Yeah.
It's
Sportster.
great. It's
This
I
looks like
haven't
Captain
ran-
America.
I
That's the
haven't-
style I like. The Indian style is what I like.
I love Indian bikes too. They look so
The
dope.
Indians are so sick.
They're so
Indians actually way ahead of Harley too. Harley actually
know that.
buys a bunch of Indians every year to
Oh,
try.
I heard that actually.
Try and figure out what they're doing.
That makes sense.
Well, anyways, have a good week. We will catch you next week. Hopefully, you find some value in this training. Like, follow, subscribe. Go catch the Ian episode, the Paul episode, the Fuad episodes, and we will catch you
And the rest
next
of
week.
ours.
Code D2 with Flavor Gang and Bash Mouth. We love you guys.
Bingo. Later.